Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we like to blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
I like that.
Today, we are diving deep into NVIDIA.
Oh, fun.
You probably know them from their awesome graphics cards, right?
Of course, yeah.
But they're quickly becoming a powerhouse in the tech world, and
Yeah.
it's pretty fascinating how they're doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like how NVIDIA has successfully pivoted,
Yeah.
They were known for enhancing our gaming experiences, but their strategic shift to AI chips is what's fueling their incredible growth.
Yeah, and in fact, they're now the most valuable company globally.
Yeah, it's wild. They've completely blown past expectations.
I know.
Their latest earnings report shows a whopping $35 billion in revenue.
Wow.
That's a 94% increase from last year.
That's insane.
And their profits.
More than doubled to $20 billion.
Wow.
But here's the kicker.
Okay.
Their data center revenue has skyrocketed to $30 billion.
Jeez.
Just 3 years ago, that number was a mere $1.9 billion.
Those numbers are mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder how they can possibly keep up this pace.
That's exactly what Wall Street is trying to figure out.
Really?
Yeah, their stock actually dipped after the earnings call, even though they exceeded expectations.
Oh.
It seems investors are concerned that this growth might not be sustainable in the long run.
So is this a sign of things to come or just a blip on the radar?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
It could be that investors are worried about competition heating up,
Right.
or maybe they're concerned about the overall economic climate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay, so let's get into the heart of what's driving this growth.
Okay.
The Blackwell chip.
Yes.
It's their latest AI chip, and everyone seems to be going crazy for it.
I know, right?
Can you break down why it's such a game changer?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
It's like they took their previous AI chip and put it on a super intense workout regimen. The Blackwell chip is 2.5 times faster than its predecessors when it comes to training AI models.
So it's a speed demon.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
But what about efficiency? I've heard these AI chips can be real energy hogs.
That's where the Blackwell chip really shines.
Okay.
Not only is it faster, but it's also 25 times more energy efficient.
Wow.
That's a huge win for companies looking to reduce their carbon footprint and their operating costs.
I bet these chips don't come cheap, though, do they?
You're right about that.
Yeah.
They sell these chips in server racks with 72 chips per rack.
Okay.
Each rack goes for about $3 million.
Wow. $3 million for a rack of chips.
Yeah.
That's a serious investment. So who's shelling out that kind of cash for these things?
Well, think about the big players in AI.
Okay.
Microsoft is using them to power ChatGPT.
Right.
And a large number of the world's top supercomputers rely on NVIDIA technology.
It sounds like they've got a pretty impressive client list.
They do.
It's not just hardware, though, right?
Yeah.
I read that NVIDIA is also developing software tools for some pretty diverse applications.
Absolutely. Their software is being used for everything from weather forecasting to virtual factory design.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how?
For example, weather forecasters are using NVIDIA software to predict the climate 500 times faster than traditional methods.
Wow, that's incredible.
And factories are using NVIDIA's digital twins,
Digital twins.
which are basically virtual replicas of physical factories to test designs and optimize processes before they even start building anything.
Oh, wow. So they're not just building the brains, they're building the tools to use those brains effectively.
Exactly. And what's even more fascinating is that they're not stopping there.
Yeah.
They're looking beyond AI and laying the foundation for other tech trends like quantum computing and robotics.
Now that's where things get really futuristic.
Yeah,
Didn't they announce Project GR00T recently?
they did.
I remember reading something about a brain for humanoid robots.
Yes. Project GR0T is essentially NVIDIA's attempt to create a platform for controlling and training humanoid robots.
Wow.
They're even partnering with leading robotics companies like Boston Dynamics and Figure to help their robots learn and move more naturally.
It's mind-blowing to think about the potential implications of that.
It really is. And on top of all that, they're also developing their own AI models like Nemotron.
I'm really curious about this Nemotron.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it? What makes it stand out from other AI models?
Well, what's interesting about Nemotron is that it's specifically designed to be highly customizable and adaptable to different tasks and industries.
So instead of being a one-trick pony,
Yeah,
Nemotron is more like a Swiss Army knife of AI.
exactly. And that versatility is what makes it so exciting.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Yeah.
NVIDIA isn't just content with dominating one area of tech. They're branching out in all sorts of directions. It makes you wonder what they'll come up with next.
Absolutely. And that's what makes following NVIDIA's journey so captivating. They're constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It is really cool.
But before we get too carried away with the future,
Yeah.
let's not forget about NVIDIA's roots.
You're talking about their gaming legacy, right?
Yeah,
After all, that's how a lot of us first got to know them.
exactly. And for all you gamers out there, get ready for the RTX 5000 series graphics cards.
Ooh.
They're rumored to be coming out in December, and word on the street is they're going to be pretty pricey.
Well, you know what they say.
What's that?
You get what you pay for. And when it comes to cutting-edge graphics, I'm sure gamers will be lining up to get their hands on these cards.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
NVIDIA has a knack for delivering top-notch performance, and I doubt they'll disappoint with this new series.
So we've talked about NVIDIA's dominance in hardware. But what about the software side of things?
Yeah,
Specifically the enterprise AI market. There's a lot of competition there, right?
absolutely. It's a rapidly evolving landscape,
Yeah.
and NVIDIA is facing some serious contenders.
Right. And it's not just about hardware anymore.
Right.
Software and AI applications are becoming increasingly important.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting.
For sure.
I read that OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has actually been losing ground in the enterprise AI market.
Oh, really?
What's the story there?
Well, it seems like the competition is catching up.
Okay.
A recent report by Menlo Ventures shows that OpenAI's market share has dropped by 16%,
Wow.
while Anthropic, another AI company, has doubled its share to 24%.
Wow, that's a pretty significant shift. What's fueling Anthropic's rise? Are they doing something differently?
One of their key strategies has been forming strong partnerships.
Like what?
They recently teamed up with Snowflake, a major player in the data cloud platform space.
Okay.
This partnership allows them to bring their Claude AI directly to where large companies are already managing their data.
Ah, so it's all about convenience and integration.
Yeah.
Instead of companies having to go out and find separate AI solutions, the AI is coming directly to them, built into the platforms they're already using.
Exactly.
That's a pretty smart move.
Absolutely. It streamlines the process and makes it much easier for companies to adopt and implement AI solutions.
Right.
And this is where the competition is really heating up.
Uh-huh.
Companies like Anthropic are finding ways to differentiate themselves and offer compelling alternatives to OpenAI.
So it sounds like there's a real battle brewing in the enterprise AI market.
It is.
How do you see NVIDIA navigating this evolving landscape, especially with their own AI models like Nemotron in the mix?
It's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
NVIDIA has a strong foothold in hardware, but they're also making moves in software and AI applications.
Right.
Nemotron, as we discussed earlier, has the potential to be a major player because of its versatility and adaptability. If NVIDIA can successfully leverage its hardware dominance to gain ground in these other areas, they could become an even more formidable force in the tech industry.
It sounds like they're playing a long game here, and they're not afraid to take risks.
Definitely.
But what does all this mean for the average person? Why should we be paying attention to these developments?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, these advancements in AI and technology are going to have a profound impact on our lives, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, I can see that.
From the way we work to the way we interact with the world around us, AI is going to play an increasingly important role.
So it's not just about geeking out over the latest gadgets or mind-blowing processing speeds. It's about understanding how these technologies are shaping our future.
Exactly. NVIDIA's story is just one example of how quickly technology is evolving.
Yeah.
It's important to stay informed about these developments, not just from a curiosity standpoint, but also because they'll have real-world implications for all of us.
Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive into NVIDIA and the world of AI, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing to remember is that we're living in an era of unprecedented innovation.
Like that.
Companies like NVIDIA are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and these advancements are happening at an incredible pace.
Yeah, it's really remarkable.
It's an exciting time to be alive, and it's up to us to embrace the changes and harness the power of these new technologies for good.
I love that perspective. It's easy to get caught up in the headlines and focus on the potential downsides of technology, but it's important to remember that these advancements also have the power to solve some of the world's biggest challenges.
Absolutely. From healthcare to climate change to space exploration, the possibilities are endless.
For sure.
It's a time of great opportunity, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Me too. Now, before we sign off, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Open source AI.
Right.
It seems like there's a growing movement to make AI more accessible and transparent.
There is.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. The open source movement in AI is all about making AI technology more widely available and fostering collaboration.
Okay.
Instead of keeping AI developments locked away in proprietary systems, the idea is to share knowledge and tools openly so that everyone can benefit.
So it's kind of like the Wikipedia of AI.
Yeah.
Everyone can contribute and learn from each other.
Exactly. A great example of this is Meta's release of their Llama 2 model earlier this year.
Oh, yeah?
They made this powerful AI model freely available to the public, which sparked a lot of discussion about the benefits and risks of open source AI.
It sounds like there are valid arguments on both sides.
There are.
On the one hand, open source AI could accelerate innovation and make AI technology more accessible to smaller companies and researchers. But on the other hand, there are concerns about potential misuse.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate about how to balance the potential benefits of open source AI with the need for responsible development and use.
I can imagine.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
It definitely sounds like something that requires careful consideration.
It does.
But I think it's important to have these conversations and explore different perspectives.
I agree.
After all, AI is going to impact all of us.
Yeah.
So we should all have a voice in shaping its future.
I completely agree. As AI becomes more integrated into our lives, it's crucial that we approach its development and use with a sense of responsibility and a commitment to ethical considerations.
Well said.
Yeah.
So to sum it all up, it seems like the world of AI is a whirlwind of innovation, competition, and ethical considerations.
Definitely.
And NVIDIA is right at the center of it all,
Yeah.
pushing the boundaries and driving the conversation forward.
Absolutely. It's a dynamic and fascinating field, and it's only going to get more exciting from here.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of ground today, from NVIDIA's incredible growth to the evolving landscape of the enterprise AI market and the rise of open source AI.
We have.
It's been a fascinating journey.
I've enjoyed our discussion. It's always great to delve into these topics and explore the potential of technology.
Me too. And for our listeners who are eager to learn more and stay ahead of the curve, what would you recommend they explore further?
Well, I'd encourage them to keep an eye on the development of NVIDIA's own AI models, like Nemotron.
Okay.
It'll be interesting to see how they leverage those models to expand their reach and impact. And for those interested in the broader AI landscape, I highly recommend diving into the world of open source AI.
Yeah.
There are some incredible projects and initiatives out there that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Great suggestions. And of course, we'll continue to bring you the most exciting and insightful tech discussions here on Byte-Sized Tech.
Exactly. We're always on the lookout for the latest trends and innovations, so be sure to tune in for more.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions. It's amazing to think about how far AI has come in such a short time.
I know.
And how it's already woven into so many aspects of our life. You know, from the recommendations we get on streaming services to the way our photos are organized,
Yeah.
AI is working behind the scenes in ways we might not even realize.
It's true. AI is becoming increasingly ubiquitous, and it's only going to become more so in the years to come.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why it's so important to understand not just the technology itself,
Right.
but also its potential implications for society as a whole.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
As AI becomes more powerful and sophisticated,
Yeah.
we need to have thoughtful conversations about its ethical implications
Definitely.
and ensure that it's developed and used responsibly.
That's a crucial point. We need to consider questions like bias in algorithms, the potential impact on jobs,
Right.
and the importance of privacy and data security in an AI-driven world.
It's a lot to grapple with,
It is.
but it's essential that we have these discussions.
Yeah,
After all, AI has the potential to be an incredible force for good in the world,
it does.
but only if we guide its development with careful consideration and a focus on human values.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Wow.
The future of AI is in our hands, and it's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've explored NVIDIA's journey from graphics cards to AI dominance,
Mm-hmm.
delved into the intricacies of their Blackwell chip,
Really?
and even touched upon the evolving landscape of the enterprise AI market and the rise of open source AI.
It's been a fascinating discussion. I always enjoy exploring the intersection of technology, business, and society.
Me too. And for our listeners who are eager to stay informed about these developments, what resources or platforms would you recommend they check out?
While there are some fantastic AI-focused publications and websites that offer in-depth analysis and coverage of the latest trends,
Okay.
and of course conferences and events dedicated to AI are great ways to connect with experts and learn about cutting-edge research.
Great suggestions. And for those who want a more hands-on approach, there are plenty of online courses and tutorials that can teach you the fundamentals of AI and machine learning.
Absolutely. There are resources available for every level of interest and expertise, from beginner to advanced.
Oh, wow.
It's never been easier to dive into the world of AI and start learning.
That's wonderful to hear. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of NVIDIA and AI, what's the one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I think the most important message is this. AI is not just a futuristic concept. It's already here,
Right.
shaping our present and influencing our future.
Hmm.
It's a powerful tool with immense potential.
Yeah.
And it's up to all of us to engage with it thoughtfully, responsibly, and with a sense of curiosity and wonder.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions. So we were talking about the potential downsides of open sourcing these powerful AI models.
Right, yeah.
Like, what are some of the specific concerns that people have raised?
Well, one of the big worries is that these models could be used for malicious purposes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, imagine someone using a powerful language model to generate fake news or propaganda on a massive scale.
Right, or to create deep fakes that could be used to spread misinformation or damage someone's reputation.
Exactly. And another concern is that these models could be used to automate tasks that currently require human intelligence.
Which could lead to job displacement.
Yeah, potentially. And then there are also ethical considerations around things like bias and fairness.
So how do we address these concerns while still fostering innovation and making AI more accessible?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There's no easy answer, but I think it's a combination of things, like developing ethical guidelines for AI development and use,
Right.
and investing in research to better understand the potential risks and benefits of these technologies.
And maybe even exploring ways to build safeguards into the models themselves.
Yeah, exactly, like designing them in a way that makes it harder to use them for harmful purposes.
So like a multi-pronged approach involving researchers, policymakers, and developers working together.
Precisely, it's going to take a collective effort to ensure that AI is used for good.
Well said. So it seems like we're at a really crucial juncture in the development of AI,
We are.
where the decisions we make today are going to have a huge impact on the future.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important for everyone to be engaged in this conversation, not just the experts.
Right. We all have a stake in this.
Exactly. AI is going to touch every aspect of our lives, so we need to be informed and involved in shaping its direction.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I think we've covered just about everything we wanted to talk about today.
I think so.
We've explored NVIDIA's rise to the top of the tech world, delved into the power of the Blackwell chip, and even touched upon some of the broader implications of AI for society.
It's been a great discussion.
I really enjoyed it, and I hope our listeners have too.
Me too.
So to wrap things up, is there anything else you'd like to add? Any final thoughts or recommendations for our listeners?
I think just to reiterate that AI is a rapidly evolving field and there's so much to learn and explore.
Yeah, for sure.
So I encourage everyone to stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged, because the future of AI is being written right now.
That's a great message to end on. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Likewise, it's been fun.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this deep dive into NVIDIA and the world of AI, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more insightful and entertaining tech discussions.